Here's a report from, Andy No tweeted this out. It says, breaking, leftist journalist and activist Josh Kruger has been tragically shot dead at his Philadelphia home. Kruger has long downplayed gun violence in his city and publicly chastised others who spoke about it. So that's the story. And, it was going viral last night that this guy who I'd never heard of, but Josh Kruger is his name. And he was a local journalist. He's a leftist, kind of certainly a leftist, an activist. And, but what makes this kind of morbidly ironic is that he's on the record many times downplaying the violence in his own city, saying it's not a big deal. So here are just some of the tweets that this guy has sent out previously. He says, look, it's that lawless land of liberals in Philly where shootings are ... dropping to levels not seen in years. He said, some idiot just said you're more likely to get shot and killed than die of COVID in Philly to make some insensitive rhetorical point for his side. Folks, 4 times as many Philadelphians have died of COVID than gunshots this year. I understand math is hard, but do better. Another time he says, bro, speak for your block. Mine isn't ruined. The city isn't ruined. And just because Larry Krasner keeps winning in landslides doesn't mean that Philly is a heap of cinders and ashes, no matter how much people say. Like the rest of the country, we are dealing with upticks in crime. So those are just a few of the tweets that this guy has sent out. Not only downplaying the violent crime in his own city, but kind of making fun of the people who have brought it up and have raised concerns about it. And now this guy has been shot and killed in his own home. And there's a lot we still don't know about the shooting. We don't know who did it or why. But again, the morbid irony is impossible to miss. To have someone who spent years downplaying violent crime in his city fall victim to it. And the point here isn't that we're not dunking on the guy. We're not finding any joy in his death. It's simply that reality asserts itself. And the entire leftist project, the whole agenda, is to try and change reality by insisting that it's different from what it really is. Reality denial is the core tenet of leftist ideology. And that's what makes leftism inherently volatile and fragile and unsustainable in the long run, is that it's built on a foundation of fantasy, of wishes and dreams, which, by the way, is not the same thing as saying that leftism has unrealistic goals. Okay, that's not what we're saying. An unrealistic goal. Okay, if they were just being unrealistic goal would be to say that we want to put strategies in place that will turn Philadelphia from a zombie wasteland into a livable, thriving city in 5 years, let's say. That's unrealistic. You look at a city like Philly, to try to turn it around and make it into the kind of place that a sane person would actually want to live and move their family to, trying to do that in 5 years would be unrealistic. So that's an unrealistic goal. But leftism doesn't rise to the level of unrealistic. Like, unrealistic would be an improvement. Instead, it simply denies the existence of the problem in the first place. They're not coming up with wild, naive, unworkable solutions for problems. I wish they were doing that. That would be better. No, they're just denying that the problems exist. They're not trying to turn Philadelphia into a wonderful place in 5 years. They're simply insisting that Philadelphia is already a wonderful place. The crime is not an issue. And you can do that, but the problem is that reality remains what it is. And the thing is that there are elements of reality. I mean, the fundamental elements of reality can never be changed. Fundamental elements like, the fact that men are not women, that sort of thing. You can never change that. But there are aspects of reality that can be changed. It is a reality right now that Philadelphia is a dangerous, horrible place. Technically, that can be changed. So you could change that reality. But you're not ever going to be able to do that if you will not acknowledge it in the first place. And leftism has become so detached from reality at this point that it cannot acknowledge anything that is real. And, but the reality remains. And it will eventually, as I said, reassert itself, whether you like it or not. And oftentimes it will reassert itself. You know, when you deny reality and you deny it, you are guaranteeing that eventually reality will come knocking on your door and it will say, hey, I'm still here. This is still real. You can close your eyes all you want, but here it is. You're guaranteeing that will happen. And when it reintroduces itself, it's going to be in a way that you really won't like. And it appears that's what happened with this guy, unfortunately. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.